So I was actually going to film an introduction to this reading vlog yesterday morning when I started reading the books for this reading vlog, but it was a little bit too early. I had only one coffee at that point, and I was like, I am not caffeinated enough to start a new video. So it's the day after, and I am now introducing this reading vlog. So hello, hi. Welcome back to How to Train Your Gavin. There's lots of lawnmowers going off at the minute, so if you can hear that in the background, I am so sorry. You might not actually be able to hear it at all, and I'm just, making drum out of nothing. So this is kind of going to be like a reading vlog series almost. It really does depend on my TBR gameplay or TBR Right, where I play this game of cards between a book that I'd really love to read and a book that I probably don't want to read as much. It can be a really intimidating book. It can be a book that's been on my TBR for the longest. It can be a book that I just don't want to read at all, but I own for some apparent reason. Now, in my April TBR, I did lose a number of rounds, so I thought, you know what, I have all of these books that I have to read. I thought, why waste it when I could make a reading vlog out of it? It's kind of going to be like reading the books I lost during Play Your TBR Right and see whether I end up loving them. So maybe I will be proven wrong during this vlog about, books that I was really not wanting to read. Maybe they do end up becoming some of my new favourite books. Who knows? So I was thinking maybe doing this every month for the books that I lose during my TBR game, just to see what I end up thinking about them. And to make sure that when you guys are watching my TBR game and I lose, that you know that I'm actually reading these books that I lose to. So it's a little bit chilly, so I've got this on today. I am off work today, and I was at work yesterday, and I made a start with my very first book for this reading vlog. So, what books am I reading for this reading vlog? Well, that is a good question. One of them that I'm reading is The Revenant by Punke, and you can see I've already, can you see? Yeah, kinda. You can already see that I've started it. I am on page 119. So on page 119. I have this on Scribd as well, so I was listening to it on my way to work, and then I stopped because I wasn't paying attention, so I started to read more of it last night during some Patreon sprints. So this one follows the trappers at Rocky Mountain Fur Company, and they live like this really brutal frontier life. Hugh Glass is an expert tracker, and he's with a group of people, but he is viciously mauled by a bear and then left for dead by his team. Now, two men were ordered to stay with him until he died, but they end up abandoning him, taking away some of his things that would have helped him survive, and so now Hugh is out for revenge. So I will let you know my thoughts about this in a second. I do want to let you know the other books I'm reading. The next book I want to read is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Now, the reason I didn't really want to read this one is because I really did not like The Starless Sea, and I read that last year. However, some people have told me that they loved The Night Circus but didn't like The Starless Sea either, so maybe I will end up enjoying this. The Starless Sea just really put me off Erin Morgenstern. Hopefully this one will restore my faith in the author, because I've heard great things about this. All I know about this one is that it follows a mysterious traveling circus, and there are two magicians, I think, and it's kind of like the story about them. I mean, I don't really know anything else, but I feel like a lot of people have already read this one, so you'll know what it's about. I'm excited to read it, but I'm also really apprehensive about it. So yeah, I'm going to also be reading this in this vlog, and then I will also be reading Infinity Reaper by Silvera. Now, that is one that I didn't own, but it was extremely cheap on Audible. I read Infinity Sun last year and hated it. I did not like it. It's one of my worst books of 2020. So why am I reading the sequel, you ask? Well, it was a fun little punishment because I love to have really high stakes during my Play Your TBR Right game. It was really fun, but then when I lost, it wasn't as fun anymore. So I'm reading that, and then as soon as I finish reading it, I am going to be gifting the Audible audiobook of it to someone else. However, I might end up liking it. I hated Infinity Sun so much, but you never know, I might end up liking the sequel because it's bigger than the first one, and what I didn't like too much about the first one was that it tried to do too much in such little word count. However, the sequel is longer. It might combat some of the problems that I had with the first one, but also it might be worse. I don't know. So I'm also going to be reading that one. I cannot really tell you too much about what that one's about because it's a sequel, but Infinity Sun, oh my god, it was just so annoying. Infinity Sun followed two brothers, Emil and Brighton. There are people who are born with powers, and there is a lot of violence going on with like spellwalkers and celestials, and oh my god, I really do need to refresh my memory with that book before I read the sequel. But I just really remember not liking the main characters at all. I didn't like the writing style. I could not differentiate between characters. I know there's like lots of recaps of Infinity Son Online, so I'll quickly read a recap and then start Infinity Rebirth. So let's talk about the first book then, The Revenant. Now, I am only like a third of the way through. It is actually quite a short book, so I might be able to finish it today. But I have seen the film that stars Leonardo DiCaprio, and I liked the film. I did find a lot of it a little bit boring, but I thought the performances were amazing. The bear attack was gruesome and awful, but I already passed that part in this book. It was rather early on, and the bear attack, it wasn't as, I guess, violent as it was in the movie, so I kind of just like glossed past it. But then it was the descriptions of the wounds of Hugh Glass afterwards that really got me like shivering, and it was really grotesque, and I had like physical reactions to that because I thought it was described so so disgustingly. But like that's good. It was definitely a visceral experience reading about the wounds on Hugh Glass. So I'm at the point actually where he has just been abandoned, and I think now is when it really starts to, pick up, or it might end up slowing down, because we are also getting interspersed with some backstory, and I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of exposition or backstory that's told in the way that it's just like info dumpy, which is kind of the way it is. It's usually a related topic and then it segues into somebody's backstory, and that's fine. But I have a hard time concentrating when I'm getting info dumped on, So I'm kind of not exactly ignoring it, but I'm not really taking in any of the backstory. I just want the current event. I want the current situation to be the main thing that I take away from this book. So I'm focusing mainly on that. And then when the backstory comes, I'm just like, okay. Do I really need to know this? But you know what? It's fine. I'm only 119 pages in, so maybe just focus more on Hugh Glass getting back to civilization and exacting revenge. I can barely remember the movie now as well, apart from the bear attack. So it'll be interesting. I might get surprised by what ends up happening in this, or it might jog my memory of what happened in the movie. I don't know if the movie and the book are very similar or not, so that'll also be really interesting to research. So yeah, I'm going to continue reading this. It's a nice chilly day, so I am going to cuddle up in my blanket as well as have some more coffee and just enjoy my day off. This is my second coffee today. I'm just channeling my inner Olivia Reads a Latte. Oh, that rhymed. This is my second coffee today. I'm just channeling my inner Olivia Reads a Latte. Yeah, I'm currently on my break of work and I'm about to start the Night Circus, so I'm really, really excited about that. I've only got an hour, so in fact less than that because, I had to order this, but yeah, I'm not going to waste any time, so I am shit. It's now Saturday, and I last updated you on Tuesday. Like, that was my one and only update. I wanted to get all 3 books read by the end of this week. I have only finished one, and I've barely started another. And I haven't even thought about Infinity Reaper yet. So I'm going to have to extend this just a little bit. I am working. I was at work today. I'm at work tomorrow. I'm at work Monday. Why am I jumping ahead to Wednesday? So I've got this full weekend and Monday in. So I haven't really got a chance to read much or anything. What's been great though is it has been nice to be out and to have some kind of routine again, away from doing booktube and all of that. It has been really nice. And the amount of coffees I've been consuming though, honestly, I always go to Starbucks or Costa or muffin break, or, I mean, I don't really go to Cafe Nero, but I would if I had to. So, you know, all these coffee places, because I work in a shopping centre and there isn't really any kind of independent kind of coffee shop, otherwise I would have been there like that. But what's really handy with Starbucks is it does allow me to use the mobile app, and I can order ahead so that I can just walk in front of everybody who's in a queue and pick up my order and go. I love doing that so much, so I've abused that privilege every day I've been at work. So it's not been good for my bank balance. However, I do get paid next week, so that's good. I just haven't really had a chance to do much reading. And even though I've had 2 days off this week, I spent all of Thursday filming my Fairy Loot unboxing and my 2-year Q&A video, which should be up by the time you see this. And honestly, I don't know why I've put that on the internet, but it's on there, I think, I hope. Anyway, I don't know. So I filmed both of those on Thursday, edited and uploaded Fairy Loot on the Thursday as well. And then all day Friday, I pretty much edited the Q&A video, which took ages. It took forever. And then I had my interview with Francesca Gibbons at 8 p.m. as well. So I managed to get the video done just in time. Then I put it up for early access for my patrons. And it was like, I just had so much going on. And then I was at work today. For some reason, I'm thinking it's Sunday, but it's not. Anyway, you didn't come here for this. You also, can I just say a huge thank you to everybody who has sent me something from my wish list. Because, yeah, with my birthday coming up, people kept asking for my address, and I don't feel comfortable giving my address, so I was just like, okay, here's my Amazon wishlist. If you really want to get me something, then that's the safest way to do so. I thank you so much, everybody who has sent me something. It is my birthday for like another 2-ish weeks, so 2 or 3 weeks, and I'll just show you. Look at this. So thank you so much, everyone, for all of these parcels. Like, I cannot thank you enough. I'll not be opening them until a little bit nearer the time of my birthday so that I can unbox them in a video, and thank you guys personally for sending me something. Honestly, it's the most genuinest, nicest thing that you guys have done. I thank you so much. And if you're watching this, don't feel pressure to send me something. You don't have to send me anything at all. Like, seriously, thank you so much if you do, but you do not have to. Honestly, it's fine. Like, you don't have to. Anyway, thank you. I will open them, and I will be able to thank everyone who sent me something personally when I've opened them. So if you haven't had a response yet, that's why. But thank you so much. So yeah, the only book update I can give you is for The Revenant by Michael Punke. I finished this. I gave it 3 stars, I think, but I haven't put it through Copal yet. It was just as I suspected. It was rather boring. It failed to really grip me. And I wasn't a big fan of the ending. This is a no spoiler vlog as well, so don't worry, I'm not going to spoil you for it. But like the revenge part of it, it was unsatisfactory. That's all I'll say. Unsatisfactory to me. I'm sure this was like based on a real event, and I think it played out the way it plays out in this book, but Michael Punke just fictionalized a lot of it and embellished it. But I was just left rather underwhelmed, to be honest. And there were moments of it that were really interesting and intriguing, like things about the characters. A lot of times I didn't care for backstory, but there were just like little things about the characters that was just really captivating. I liked exploring them a little bit more, but mainly the main character. Because Hugh Glass, like, I totally admire his determination. If I got mauled by a bear and I managed to survive that and still walk so far to get somewhere, to get to civilization, to get help, like, I would have been dead. Like, I would not have lasted that long. Props to Hugh Glass for that, but I kind of knew it wasn't going to be for me. But, you know, this had been on my shelf for the longest time. I believe I got this in HMV, and it was like £3 with any purchase, and I had bought some films, and the guy at the counter said, do you want to get that book for £3? And I said, yeah. And that was the only reason why I got it, though, and it's been on my shelf since then, and I can't even remember when I got this. It says this edition was published in 2015. That sounds about right, like when I got it. This has been on my shelf for 6 years, and now I finally read it. I'm so glad I read it. I can get rid of it now. But I do like the cover, though. Like, that's a shame. But it's not one I'd ever reread again, so I can get rid of it. I don't really have anything to say about it. Like, yeah, the writing was really good, but it just wasn't for me, and that's not the book's fault, that's my fault, to be honest. I feel like the only reason I've given it a 3 and not a 2 is because I appreciate how good the writing style is, I appreciate the story, I appreciate how it was told. It just didn't connect with me. So, I mean, we'll see how it goes through in Copal, but I think it'll come out at a 3. So I'm 121 pages into the Night Circus, but I don't really have many thoughts about it just yet. I've noticed with Erin Morgenstern though, is that she isn't letting me make my own decisions on things, and that's starting to annoy me. Like, the writing is beautiful, but she'll explain something I could have interpreted in my own way, but she like really explains it. And I'm just like, I didn't need the explanation. I could have come to that conclusion myself or made my own conclusion up. But it's like she wants you to have a very precise thing to think about for her book, like something like that. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's late now and I'm tired and I've got work in the morning, so I've got nothing really else to say about this. I'm a little bit interested about the whole like circus aspect of it, but honestly it's not even the circus aspect of it. We had Prospero and Celia seems to have these like powers, and Prospero is trying to get her to do something. I'm intrigued. I don't know what his game is, but for some reason he called somebody over, and like, I don't think this is a spoiler, I think this is something that a lot of people know, and I won't talk about spoilers, but like, he invited somebody to witness like Celia's powers, and then they're like, okay, game on, and I'm just like, what? So like, I'm intrigued, I'm very intrigued. I think I'm already liking it more than the Starless Sea, to be honest. Like, the Starless Sea just annoyed the fuck at me. This, I can kind of say me liking, but I'm so nitpicky, and already I'm like, Erin, stop telling me what to think about your book. Let me come to my own conclusions. So, I'm going to continue with this, and I'm so behind, I really hope that I can finish it by tomorrow night. I don't know if that's going to happen. I have a live show with Mel tomorrow night for A Court of Silver Flames for Mel's Thorns and Roses along, so that's going to be really fun. Yeah, I just don't know if I'm going to get this finished by tomorrow, and then I've got Infinity Reaper to read as well, and I'm not going to buy the audiobook of this. I refuse point blank. I'm not going to buy an audiobook to something that I already own physically. Like, I'm not wasting money on it, I'm not wasting a credit on it. I'm not getting the audiobook. Okay, the theme for this vlog is that I am shit. I did manage to finish the Night Circus, but I'm going to run through some updates. I think the last time I spoke to you guys was on Friday, and I'd only finished the Revenant, and I'd started the Night Circus, and I was about to do my interview with Francesca Gibbons, which went so great, by the way. I absolutely adored it. Francesca was like so funny, so do check it out if you haven't already. I will link it down in the description box. It is spoiler free, so you know, you don't have to worry about spoilers. You can just give it a watch. So since Friday, I worked Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday was yesterday. Well, it's like 2:40 a.m, so it's nearly 3 a.m, and this is the first time I've managed to do a vlog update. I finished the Night Circus like yesterday. It was fine. I gave it like 3 stars. I think it was just a little bit better than the Starless Sea, and I've been dreading doing a vlog update for it because I don't have all that much to say about it. You know what I realised today as well? I just put on so much pressure for me to actually say lots in a vlog or like in a review of something. But this is a spoiler-free vlog, and sometimes I do spoiler ones, but this is a spoiler-free vlog, so I don't want to talk too much about anything really because I don't want to spoil this for you guys in case you haven't read it. And then that made me feel a bit better because I was like, oh well, if it's spoiler free then I don't really have to go in depth about what I thought about it or like give out examples about some of the things that I didn't really enjoy with it. I mean, I will give you like my brief thoughts of course, but yeah, this is like the first time I can just sit down and just chat. So yeah, as I said, I worked the past 3 days. I had my Q&A video go up on Sunday, which went really well, and that was like, that took so long to edit though, and it really put me behind on this vlog, so I haven't filmed another video this week. I'm hoping this reading vlog will go up on Thursday, but I do still have Infinity Reaper to read, so I don't know if that's going to happen, but I do have the audiobook for that, so I might just read it all in one go today, which is Wednesday now technically. But the thing is, I have another interview coming on Friday. It's my last one of April, my last one for another month, and I'm so excited for this interview though. Like, I absolutely love Katie and Kevin Sang so much. Like, Dragon Mountain was such a fun and entertaining book, and Dragon Legend is coming out, so it's going to be a really fun interview. I am currently reading Dragon Legend as well on Kindle because I have it on NetGalley. But the thing is, Dragon Legend was not on my April TBR. I forgot to put it on in the video. And technically I don't really need to read it before the interview, but I just like to. I mean, the interview is going to be spoiler free as well. And today I was promoting it. And I was like, you know what? I'm kind of bored of the thumbnail design, so I'm going to change it. So I changed it from this into this, and you know what, I think it's so much better now, and I ended up liking it that much that I started to remake a lot of the thumbnails of the interviews I did this year. So that was 6 thumbnails I changed, and honestly I spent so much time redesigning it as well. I think I spent like an hour and a half just moving text around, changing positions of, you know, the pictures, and it was an absolute ball ache. So that's what I was doing today too. I was looking after my nephew for a bit too. I tuned into an author event for Jenny Pearson, the author of The Incredible Record Smashers, which is coming out. But yeah, I wasn't like part of it, I was just watching it. What else before I talk about the Night Circus? Oh yeah, I made my first TikTok. How did I forget that? I made my first TikTok. But I think that might be the only TikTok. I just wanted to get off my chest. I had a good idea for it. I mean, I was going to put it in this video, but copyright for the music, so I'm not going to do it. But I will link my TikTok down below, and if you want to check out the TikTok, fair game. I will tell you, it's a bit shit because it was my first one, so don't give me grief for it. Anyway, let's talk about the Night Circus then. I was expecting a bit more, I think, is where it was the same with the Starless Sea. I didn't hate it, but I was just really disappointed with what I got. So yes, I can't fault the writing style whatsoever. The writing style was beautiful. However, as I mentioned before, there were just a lot of times when things were just told to me in a way that didn't leave any room for interpretation for me as a reader to give my own kind of judgment on it. I wasn't the biggest fan of the romance in this as well. I don't want to spoil who the romances are, but I didn't really feel any kind of chemistry. It just felt like very circumstantial romance, if you know what I mean. Like, if they didn't find themselves in that situation, like, they really didn't have any other choice. And it just didn't feel like a natural kind of romance to me, I'm sorry. Also, there were like little chapters every now and then that was told in second person. So it was like, you open the door, you see the circus people perform and all of that. And I was just like, no, I don't. I don't say that. What are you talking about? I was being petty as fuck reading this, honestly. I think it's because, like, I've been reading so many books that I wasn't really wanting to read this month. And yeah, I mean, I spent a whole weekend reading Darren Shan, and then I read The Revenant, and now this. And I'm just like, these were books that I just didn't really want to pick up. And I'm glad I've gotten them off my TBR. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm so glad The Revenant is off my TBR. And now this, I just need something to really get me excited. And I have Infinity Rebound next. It is fine, honestly. I'm just like, I don't think I'm into reading stuff. I feel like I'm just reading too much crap back to back, and I need middle grade. I need middle grade. But actually, I have been reading Dragon Legend, and it's been so good so far. It is adventurous, it is fun, and I don't want to talk about it in this vlog because this vlog is themed, and I don't want to break away from that theme. However, I am really enjoying Dragon Legend. But in the Night Circus, what else can I say about the Night Circus? I just struggled with it. I didn't find it all that interesting. Like, it had an interesting concept, don't get me wrong. I was very intrigued by the competition aspect of it. But honestly, I felt like that was a letdown too. Like, I'm not even gonna say exactly the intricacies of that as well, but I felt like that was a letdown too. I was expecting something totally different. But at least it had more plot than the Starless Sea. I'll give it that. And that's why I like it more than the Starless Sea. But this is definitely a case of the cover is way prettier than the contents. And yes, I did pick up the audiobook. I would not have finished this if it weren't for the audiobook. Honestly, audiobooks have been lifesavers, and especially now I'm back at work, it's going to continue to save my life. So yeah, I honestly don't think there's anything else I can say about the Night Circus. I'm putting too much pressure on myself to give you in-depth analysis, but I don't really have to right now because this is spoiler free, so it's fine. Not even all that tired, even though it's nearly 3 a.m. I'm just going to roll with it. I'm just going to see where I get. I might read some Dragon Legend actually. Or I might read some Infinity Reaper. Oh, we'll see what I think. I'm sorry, guys. I couldn't do it. I've DNF'd Infinity Reaper. This is totally my fault. I'm taking all of the blame for this. I knew I wouldn't like it going into it, which I've mentioned quite a few times because I do want to put out that disclaimer that I knew it and I still did it anyway. I got to chapter 18. I don't know what percent that is, but it got to one of Brighton's chapters. Brighton's one of the characters in Infinity Reaper, and I was like, you know what, I can't fucking do it anymore. I can't physically do it anymore. I mean, physically, I can't audibly do it anymore. So, I mean, we all know I didn't like Infinity Sun, and one of the main reasons for that is because, I mean, well, a few reasons actually. One was world building. I felt it was non-existent in the first book. And then two, characters. I couldn't stand, well, you know what, actually, I couldn't really stand Brighton, like, that's never changed. And the other characters were just really too bland for me, like, none of them were relatable. Going into this one, okay, world building. I feel like Adam Silvera has tried to backtrack a little bit, and he's trying to build a bit more of the world in what I've read so far. Part of me likes it, because, yeah, we do get a little bit more scope, and it felt like he knew where he went wrong with the first one, he's trying to fix in this one, but unfortunately it just comes across as extremely obvious. Some of it feels a little bit like a rehashing, some of it feels like it was included just to try and help clarify things rather than it being a natural explanation into what was going on at the time. I haven't finished it, so I don't know if that improves or not. When I was reading, I was just like, this is so obviously written. Do you know what I mean? Like, there are books where you can just read it and you automatically feel like you're a little bit lost in that world and that it doesn't actually feel like you're reading a book. This feels like you are definitely reading something. And for me, that takes me out of the story. So none of it feels real to me. I mean, it is fantasy, so of course it's not supposed to feel real. But there are fantasies where that world feels real because of the way that the writer has told the story. And it just feels like it could be real. But this one, it just completely lost me because it did feel like it was written, and that was just a no-go for me. Secondly, characters. Oh my god, Brighton. Like, I feel like it's a little bit of a testament to Adam Silvera for writing such a dislikable character. I feel like that was his intention, 100%. But the thing is, there is no entertainment from reading this, for one. But when I read somebody who is supposed to be unlikable, sometimes I do get enjoyment from reading them. I like a villain, I like a bit of a bad boy, but Brighton is the worst, well, one of the worst characters I've ever read in my life. I mean, no spoilers in this, but the way he manipulates his brother, he is just insufferable. He is so power hungry that he will do anything for power. And, you know, it does start off a little bit exciting because I feel like I can say a little bit like this without spoiling anything, but he does seem like he's gonna die, and honestly I would have loved it if he just died, but no, instead we've got to suffer. We've got to suffer on. But I was just getting to moments where Brighton was just, I mean, I wasn't enjoying reading the story to begin with, but he was taking away any remaining enjoyment that I could have possibly had for it and replaced it with loathing. I just couldn't help but loathe what was happening. I mean, there were some action bits involved, but because I don't really like any of the characters, I just couldn't care. I couldn't care less. Not one single relatable character, honestly, just not one of them. Oh my god, the dialogue is so cringy. The flow of conversation between characters is so jaunty, it honestly feels like actors on a set. And there's just no flow between them. It's interspersed sometimes with too long explanations of maybe bits of the world or just things that was just feels like it was randomly crammed in there. And then even that comes across as a little bit too casual. We're trying to establish this fantasy world, right? I'm not getting any of that. The writing style just comes across as conflicting of that. And that's another problem I had with the first book, was that it was like contemporary but with fantasy elements. And it isn't something that I feel like Silvera has managed to execute. And you know what, if this book was the same size as Infinity Sun, I would just continue on till the end. But it's like 600 pages long or 500 pages long. I don't know because I'm listening to the audiobook. I just can't do it. I can't physically go any further. Not when I'm already running out of time for other things this month. But it's like, no, No, I'm putting my foot down. I can DNF, when I lose a round in Play Your TBR Right, I can DNF. Because really all that game is to just try and get books off my TBR that I otherwise would not have picked up. And I am so glad that I have managed to read The Revenant, The Night Circus, and now Infinity Reaper, or at least some of it, and say that it's done. It's completely done. I can take them off my TBR. I never have to read them again. And I'm not going to be reading the third book in this series either, the Infinity Cycle series or whatever. Because even when I'd finished Infinity Sun, I'd finished the book, so the next logical step is to go to the sequel. Well, logical, I mean, it's not really for me because I didn't like the first book. Now that I've DNF'd the second book, I don't have to go for the third book, because if I finish this book, there would be a part of me that would be like, I could read the third book, when it comes out. Not when, okay, so I went on Goodreads and I'm just reading, some reviews. Now I know what the ending is. I am not surprised whatsoever. I could see that coming a mile away. And honestly, I am so glad I stopped when I did, because something similar-ish happens at the end of Infinity Sun. So it's not really an original cliffhanger or original kind of twist in the story. No, No. So all in all, I would say it was a pretty unsuccessful week and a half. I wanted to cram this into 1 week, but honestly that was nearly impossible. I was hoping I would find a new favourite, because even the books that I lose during my Play Your TBR Right game, a part of me hopes that those books I lost to would surprise me and would become a new favourite of mine. But none of them. I mean, The Revenant I gave 3 stars, The Night Circus I gave 3 stars, Infinity Reaper, God, I forgot the title of it already because I want to get it out of my head, 1 star, but it's a DNF, so does it really count? I don't know. Like, I don't even know the percent I was on, because it's an audiobook and it doesn't tell me. And I had it on 2 times speed and it says I've got 5 hours and 12 minutes left. It looks to me about 25-30%. So can I count it? Because, oh my gosh, like, I do have problems with this book and it's what prevented me from continuing on. I might just give it the 1 star. Everyone rates differently, right? Do you rate DNFs? Let me know in the comments. I would actually love to know, because I'm conflicted now. Because 25-30% doesn't seem like enough for me, but it's actually quite a big book, so that's probably like 100 to 120 pages of like a 550 page book. I don't know. So is that enough to give it a rating? Is it? Because I do have some strong feelings towards it. So is 1 star okay to give it? I don't know. I'd feel bad, actually. I'd feel bad, but also at the same time not. But at the same time, yes, because I knew I wasn't going to like it. So this is on me. But I will be gifting the audiobook to someone, so if anybody wants to, let me know. I don't know how to gift an audiobook, but I just want to get rid of this copy from my Audible account, but without refunding it, because it was my fault for buying it. I want to look it up, but I do want to gift it to someone if I possibly can. Anyway, yeah, so that was kind of the end of my experiment of reading the books that I lost to during Play Your TBR Right. So the other books were the Darren Shan books, which I do have another reading vlog for, so I'm trying to prove to you guys that I do read my TBR books, and if I lose a round, I typically do read the book. There have been some months when I haven't been able to get to every book on my monthly TBR, but I'm making a conscious effort to get to at least all the books that I lose at, because otherwise what was the point of playing the game? So yeah, that is the end of this vlog, this video. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest, because I just feel like I've wasted so much time, and I don't even know how entertaining this vlog will be for you guys. I hope you enjoy it anyway, and do leave a like if you do enjoy it. That would mean so much to me. And subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment, let me know if you've read The Revenant, or The Night Circus, or Infinity Reaper, and if you enjoyed them. If you didn't enjoy them, let me know why, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. Bye!